Hi everyone, welcome back to GoLocal Live. I'm GoLocal News Editor Kate Nagel. Thanks for tuning in this Tuesday afternoon for news, politics, lifestyle, and more. And I'd like to talk health and wellness with my next guests here. I'd like to welcome in Ann Telfer with the John E. Fogarty Foundation and Charlie Clifford with this is the CEO of the YMCA of Pawtucket to talk about their new adaptive programming. So Ann and Charlie, thank you so much for coming in. Appreciate your coming here into the studio. And I really want to start with you and your role and looking at health disparities and how to help individuals with a variety of needs live healthy, well-rounded lives, and why you look to partner up with the YMCA.
So the health disparity between individuals with disabilities and the typical population is huge. There's a huge disparity, whether you're talking about obesity, diabetes, cardiovascular, fall issues, and whatever. And the other piece that's really concerning is that instead of these issues or co-conditions or comorbidities happening at age 65 and older, they happen a lot younger to people with disabilities. So the need, from my point of view, it's a public health issue to open up our Ys, open up access as much as possible and get people moving and eating better.
So when did you start to have conversations with Charlie and really get this ball rolling?
3 years.
Probably about 3 years ago, yeah.
About 3 years. So the Fogarty Foundation is really focused on this issue because it was really important to Congressman John E. Fogarty years ago, but health and wellness. And so we got pretty excited about bringing adapted or helping to fund adapted sports programs at as many Ys as possible. Started in Newport, and then it went to McCall, and that was wonderful.
Yeah, all the Ys across the state, they all collaborate together. And so it started at the Newport County Y. They had a great framework for an adaptive program, and Fogarty wanted to grow that, and we wanted to be a part of serving all folks in our community. And so we applied for some foundation funding, and we're able to start a bunch more adaptive programming at our McCall location in Lincoln.
And talk a little bit about what that looks like from a programmatic standpoint and how between working with the Fogarty and the Ys together in terms of putting together that package of offering, because there must be, as you said, also a wide variety of needs amongst the community who is looking to access these programs.
Yeah, well, I can happily start. One of the big tenets of the YMCA that it's open for all, regardless of pay, regardless of their physical ability, religion, whatever. Our doors are open to all people. And so the Fogarty Foundation gave us some funds to make access to the Y possible for everyone, which is really cool. So folks, no matter what their background, can use the health and wellness offerings of the Y. They use the pool, some of our sports programs. So it all started with kind of facility access, and then we've grown into having some specific programming for folks with developmental delays.
And I have to imagine, I know there are specific success stories, if you will, of people who've been able to take part of this. And I know we have the trainer of one particular woman who's been taking part and really seeing results from health to the full body wellness in general. So do you want to talk a little bit to Mary's story?
Sure. She was a woman who had done absolutely no exercise in her entire life, so it was really a struggle. Once we got her there, it was huge. So one of the biggest pieces is the fact that her medical doctor noted a big change in her health at an annual report, that her diabetes numbers were down, all of her numbers were down. Plus, she was excited, she was engaged. He was like, "What's different? What are you doing?" And it turned out she was going to the McCall Y and exercising, and she went from like 2 minutes on the treadmill to 3 miles. And so a lot more has happened for her, numbers are better, and everybody's happy.
So what do we see moving forward as opportunities here with this collaboration and what the needs are and able to serve the greatest number of individuals to the best capacity?
Well, I think Ys across the country and across the state collaborate. So when one YMCA figures out how to do something well, it spreads kind of naturally. And with the blessing of some extra funding from Fogarty Foundation, that's kind of the vision, that we can develop better programming, have better facilities that are more in tune to helping anybody, regardless of their abilities, access the YMCA.
And I think one of the beautiful things about McCall, it's a beautiful new building, I'm sorry, it's very accessible. from elevators to restrooms, and the pool especially has several lifts. So that's sort of an open door. It's sort of, you feel welcomed.
And also, I think it's capacity building. I mean, anytime you work with a new population, you've got to learn kind of how to make that population as successful as possible. So we learn it in one location, we can bring it to those other locations, and then the learning curve is just not quite so challenging. So we're excited to
share.
share and take on that task.
Is there anything else you want folks to know as they're watching this today about the adaptive programming that might be hearing about it for the first time and might want to know some more information?
Well, they can contact Charlie
Absolutely.
or you know, like I said, the Fogarty, our dream is to make it everywhere and to help build these programs across the state. So that's really, really where we have to go.
And I can just say, as we increase our capacity and we try and do a little bit more and more, we just ended a unified basketball program, and spring's coming, the snow is going to melt eventually, and we're working on a unified soccer program. So if you have kids that are interested in that, then feel free to find your way up to the McCall Wine Lincoln.
Well, we'll be sure to provide links again to this new adaptive programming available at WISE statewide, but made possible in this collaboration with the Fogarty Foundation. So Ann and Charlie, thank you so much for taking the time to come in today. I appreciate it. And don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back wrapping up the 3 o'clock show with a little lifestyle and fashion. We'll be right back on Go Local Live.